Welcome back to Top Repairs. If you have transmission fluid leak coming from the bell housing area, I'm going to tell you guys what the issue is. What I have here is an automatic transmission, and this part here is called the bell housing. And if you have a transmission fluid leak and the color looks red or reddish brown, and you see the fluid leak coming from the bottom end of the bell housing, then I'm going to tell you guys exactly what the issue is. The first problem is going to be a bad transmission front seal. It can also be called the input shaft seal. It can also be called a torque converter seal. To replace the transmission front seal or input shaft seal or torque converter seal, you're going to need a seal puller to remove it, and you're also going to need a special tool to install it. The next reason why your transmission is leaking at the bell housing area is going to be caused by a bad torque converter. If you look at the torque converter and you look at the weld, over time the weld can actually start to break, and it will cause transmission fluid leak. So look for a weak spot on the torque converter weld area. If you see a crack on the weld area, you can weld it yourself and fix it, or you can bring it to somebody and they can weld it for you. If you're not sure if you have leak on the torque converter, you can bring it to a specialist and they can pressurize the torque converter by adding 50 to 70 psi of air. And if there's a leak somewhere, transmission fluid will start to leak out. If you have an air compressor at home, you can always make a makeshift tool to add compressed air inside the torque converter. Next, you can use soap and water and spray on the weld area and look for air bubbles escaping from the weak spot. The next likely area that's going to leak transmission fluid is going to be at the front pump seal. So when you remove all the bolts, there's going to be a seal behind it. So I'm going to remove the front pump so you can see the seal and have a better idea how it looks like. Let's remove the bolts. If you don't have a puller to remove the front pump, you can always use vice grip and you can just pull it out that way. Now the front pump is out. This is going to be the seal. So that is the front pump seal. As you can see, this seal here is cracked. I hope you found that video useful. As always, thank you for watching and subscribe to Top 5 Auto Repairs.